Step into the light where the wild ones roam, where the heart speaks loud, calling this place home. We break the rules, we paint the sky, ridiculously you, we were born to fly. Ooh, it's ridiculously you.
Hey everyone, it is Julie May and the Ridiculously You podcast. And today I am excited to share with you somebody who isn't shrinking and she's building a beautiful life, a beautiful, bright, happy life around something that's a little dark and scary. So I love that. It is something like people hide sometimes is their love of horror. And I'm telling you what, like horror is a big genre. I know so many people who are into horror, and she has turned it kind of into a huge universe. So after being laid off, Miss Renee Huff here, instead of finding another safe job, she leaned fully into her obsession with creepy stories, immersive worlds, indie creators, horror films, gaming, and the strange magic that happens when passionate people find each other. So I am excited to have her. She is the founder of Haunted House FearFest, which I can't wait to hear more about. It's so cool. It's a horror film and video game festival. It's been featured lots of really cool places, Entertainment Weekly, Dread Central, and she has a really unique way of doing an event like that, a fear fest like that. So I can't wait to talk to you more about that because you're very into like storytelling and immersive
Yeah.
experience. And I know this is like opposite end of the genre, but like I'm a Disney girl, and the reason I like Disney is because of the storytelling. It's like very, very immersive.
Yeah.
So I was talking about like stories being immersive, experiences being immersive is very important. So, and one of my favorite things that you said, that just rolling into this, like your motto is, if it looks creepy, it must be cool.
Yeah.
So let's start with like, what got you into creepy stuff in the first place? Like, when did your love of creepy stuff even begin?
Yeah. No, well, thank you for the great introduction. That was so awesome. So, my love for horror, I've always loved going to the library and reading horror books. So, I never forget when I was younger, my mom used to take me to the library and I would get horror books from R.L. Stine, Christopher Pike, and I used to read them like the Goosebumps series. And I never forget, I was in like the basement, pretty much like my solitude for reading my books. And my dad, like upstairs, was like, Renee, watching a movie. There's people eating each other. I was like, what? What is this? And so I go up the stairs and I'm like, oh, it's like this bad guy, like feeding like a hand or something to these people in the basement. I was like, oh my God, what is this movie? And it ended up being The People Under the Stairs by Wes Craven. And then I fell in love with horror ever since. I started watching Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason, Halloween, all that stuff. And that's how I fell in love with horror. It's like my escape in a way. It's like when you're having a stressful day, when there's like terrible things going on in the world, and when I'm stressed out, like I turn on a horror movie and I'm like, oh, everything's okay in the world because things aren't that bad. And it just takes me away, and I'm like, okay, everything is fine. So, yeah, so that was the start of my journey.
I think that's hilarious that you're like, okay, when I'm stressed and I feel like the world's crashing down on me, I'm gonna watch. It's like the opposite of what people think, right? But like,
Yeah.
we actually went and saw the new Scary Movie last night, which I know is not like classic horror. It's
Oh,
more
but
of
I'm a
like a
fan.
spoof
Yeah,
of the horror genre. We saw
it's so
it's
funny.
playing in Albania, so we went and saw it last night. And I'm like, it just made me laugh. But like most horror movies are not that way. They're not going to make you laugh. They're
No.
going to make you like squirm and like go. Ah. So
Yeah.
do you think it's that contrast? Do you think like why do people love horror?
It's just for me, and I think for others, it's a roller coaster ride of emotion. It's like you can't believe people would go that far. And I would kind of not relate it to, but maybe similar to true crime. It's like you get obsessed with it. It's like they really do that. Is that really going to happen? And also the supernatural too. Like I like to do surveys in my festival just because I'm an audience growth strategist too, because I worked at different media companies as well. And so really, what does the audience think? And from my survey, it's like a lot of people like psychological horror, and like from that and like thriller and like true crime and stuff, like it's like that roller coaster ride, and it's like pushing people to the limits. Like, can they really do this? Like, can I really kill my friend if like this monster's attacking me? But like, that's my best friend. It's like, it's either you or your friend. And like, what do you do? Like, what would you do? And so I
Mm.
think that's the fascination too. And even in video games as well, that's another part of my festival too. It's like video games is so engaging and so creative. And we can talk about that later. But I just, it's just one of those things. It's like you're in the driver's seat. Like, what do you do? And it's just fascinating. I just love it.
Uh, So kind of take me back to the beginning of this festival that you created. Like you lost your job and you're like, the next thing you're like, maybe I'll create a horror festival. Like, where did
Yeah.
this idea come from?
So interesting. So I worked in media for years, like from HBO, People Magazine, and what have you. And so when I was at People, they had a streaming network. And so during that, like through the power of LinkedIn, that's how we got connected. And so like this festival was actually took place in Europe. And so the previous owner wanted to sell it. And so I connected with our mutual connection and I negotiated a great price. And so I bought the festival. So this is while I was at People. And then the network shut down, like the People TV network. And so then I was like laid off. And so my boss, who I tell her my boss now, even though she's not, but like I remember at the time she
Yeah.
gave me great advice and she said, Renee, if you're going to do it, just go all in and do it. Like this is what you want to do. This is what the universe is telling you. And so I went all in. And so in the beginning, because I worked at like previous media companies, I did advanced screenings and things like that. I was like, oh, this is
Mm.
pretty, I know what to do. Like I understand like events and everything else, but that was also during the writer strike and the actor strike. And so, and a
Oh,
lot of, yeah. And I'm like, oh, how can I do a panel or things like that? And a lot of venues are expensive in New York City. I didn't realize like when I was at a media company,
mm.
there was like a budget, but I thought, oh, indie horror, they'll cut a deal. No, like a deal for me was like 10 grand or something. I was like, I can't afford that. And so I ended up finding a place, but it was literally very, very hard. And so I found a theater and I found a sponsor that was able to sponsor it or whatever, which was great. But I wanted to rebrand it. Like a lot of festivals, they're more like, once a year, straight and narrow. They don't follow up with the filmmakers or whatever afterwards. Not that I've seen or know of. And so was like, I love haunted houses. Like when I remember in New Jersey, we used to go to Wildwood, New Jersey, and they had this haunted house on the boardwalk. And I used to go in there all the time because I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I was like, wait a minute, Renee, you have a haunted house. Make it immersive. And so that's what I did. So I take every room, there's a creepy kitchen, I reveal films that enter the festival or nominated, a basement for the video game. So I created more of like an immersive festival that's all year round and really have like a house alumni series where like people who filmmakers and game developers who are nominated or won, they still tell me like what they're up to and things like that. And I have videos that I promote on social media. So I still want to continue my relationship with the filmmakers and game developers, not when they just have a big thing, but what they're doing on their journey. Because for me, it was all about the journey after my layoff at People.
Mm. So tell me what makes your film festival a little bit different. You talked about
Yeah.
some of the things there. So tell what a regular film festival is like and what yours is like in contrast, because I
So
think that standout ability is my favorite thing to find within like creative people like yourself, because like that is how you like innovate and create something different.
yeah, so film festivals that I know of and that I've been to, and I've been to a couple over the years, it's more like once a year leading up to it, and they're getting submissions leading up to it, and then the event happens and that's it. Like some may obviously partner with other sponsors and they have like events or interactive elements, but with my festival, it's all year round. So it's like, yes, the main event is in October, but I wanted to create like tent poles. So like in the wintertime, I have the frozen wing of the house where it's like you get to submit like creepy, cool, like cold winter stories or things like that. And I started that this year. And then now the summer, a lot of people like I'm not sure if you're familiar with Summerween, which is like, people still celebrate horror, but it's like during the summertime. And so
Okay, yeah.
I have the heat wave. So it's like you get all like the crazy horror stories, like, whether it's in like campy or whatever. And that's like the theme that I started this year for my festival. And then I have my podcast and then I have my house alumni series. And I'm always adding different elements to the room. And I have like a witch demon that's my co-anchor for my podcast and things like that. So I'm testing out different things. And obviously, when you start out, you're still testing out. You may not get as many views as you want, but you keep at it, and then eventually you'll start getting bigger. So that's how my festival is different. And also, it's digital. So a lot of festivals they have online. Eventually, I will have an event, but you have to build the audience too. But a lot of the filmmakers and game developers that I spoke with, they're like, we're so great even last year that it's strictly online because like we don't have the money to travel, to like all the festivals that we're part of and things like that. And I like it too because I also, even though I got laid off at People, but I was also found a job and do consulting and work too. So I have a busy schedule too. And it's just me. I don't have a team. Like maybe I might be able to hire like a social media manager, but that's it. So I'm doing everything that you see is all on me. And yeah, so that's how my festival is different from like the standard festival too. And also, I'm an African American woman, only one in New York for film and video game, and I have a background in audience growth and distribution too. So I don't know if a lot of like film festival owners have that background. Like I worked at HBO, People, slew of other companies. And so I have that background as well. So I understand the importance of growth and community.
So with your background in audience growth
Yeah.
and like all of that, what would you say is the biggest thing that helped you get this out to people? Because you're like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start. We're gonna have a film festival. Here we go. But like you have to have an audience. Like you don't have an
Yeah.
audience, you're kind of dead. So like, what are the things that really worked for you? And what are the things like if somebody was getting into horror, like they
Yeah.
wanted to do anything in horror online, like what tips would you give them with this beautiful background in that?
Oh, yeah. No, thank you. So, what I'm still learning and also doing is that social media organic promotion has really helped me, and I'm slowly increasing my followers. TikTok has been actually a big driver for me. So, that has been really helpful, and also partnerships too. Like, I work in partnership marketing. So, when you partner with another brand, that helps too. But again, like it's just me. So, I'm doing from newsletter to everything else. It's a lot to juggle. But if someone wants to get in horror, I would first tell them, like with any field they want to get into, it's like, what are you passionate about? Like, I love horror. I think about it all the time, film and video games. And so, like, anything in horror, like, I met some people, I think I was at, it was last year, Connecticut has this like horror con or something. And there are people who make like creepy, products and things like that, artwork that I bought from them. Like, there's horror art that I want to that I've been adding to the festival and things like that. So whatever they're passionate about, I had an actress at the first time hosting the event for the festival created like a coffin where I could put like my fork and spoon in, which I thought was like awesome.
That's
So
so cool.
yeah, so it's like, what do you like about it? And I meet like moms and everyone too. It's like you don't have to look like the stereotypical person that loves horror, and that's not what it's about. It's about why do you love about it and just go for it.
So you said you use TikTok a lot. Do you have
Yeah.
any growth ideas for what that looks like in the horror genre that you could share?
So I know for me, what's helping me is that because my house is immersive, is a lot of the questions I ask. So it's like that relates to the house. So it's like choose your room carefully. Like if you see someone staring at you, what would you do or who would you save? And I get a very high engagement on that. So my tips would be it would really depend like if it's like filmmaking, really showing like behind the scenes of the film, like what you're doing, what the process is, like even from the script level, when you're like scripting with your colleague, or maybe it's just you, having that behind the scenes really helps. And then go from there. Like I see a lot of like even horror art creators, they like show their behind the scenes too. And I'm like so engaged in watching it. But I was like, I can't stay on too long because I have so much work to do for the festival. So that would be my advice.
What's your favorite thing you've done for the festival so far? How
Yeah.
long have you been going? And what's your favorite thing you've done with the festival so far?
So I bought the festival in 2022, and then started the event in 2023. The favorite thing I love is just the immersive storytelling. I would say this year is my favorite year because I'm able to be creative with the house and like do these cool things because it's not what everyone else is doing. And even in my career, like everyone had this, like whether they got laid off or whether like they thought they would get this promotion or things like that and the door was closed, they didn't get the seat at the table. Like I built a house and like I get to be super creative, and like I have these ideas. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh my God, what if my coworker, my co-host was like a witch demon and she lived in the walls in the house and I went with it, like things like that, and just being creative with that. So I would say this is like my favorite year, even though I'm the most busiest because I have to think of all these ideas for the house, but then I love it. So yeah.
Love that. As far as like business strategy, you have to have actual business strategy when you're starting with these kinds of things. And one of the things you did was like to buy an already existing business.
Yeah.
What do you think of that now that you've done the process of already buying something and kind of rebranding it? Would you do it that way again, or would you recommend kind of starting fresh?
I would do it again just because I already have a built-in audience, but that was
Mm.
something I was thinking about before this came to my lap. Like, what are the odds that someone's selling a festival and I could buy it, and I had a job for funds to buy it. And that's pretty rare. But I would, like a lot of people, just start the festival from the ground up, and they're probably have more followers than I do. So I would say if you love something, just go for it. In terms of the strategy, just be different, but be you. Like, even with me, like, I don't pretend to know everything. Like, even people who work for me for the festival, I like to learn from them, like what's the coolest game out, what's more I can learn about for games and horror films and all this other stuff. And a lot of things, time to grow is also partnerships, but like a lot of when I was in partnership marketing, a lot of the brands, they want a following, they want an audience. And so, I spoke with a lot of big time, that I can't say right now, but a lot of big time companies that are out there that spoke to me about the festival. So, the fact of having that conversation initially and say, oh, this is so cool, like keep us posted, getting that following just really helps. And from there, I've heard stories that you can go anywhere or you might not even need them. So, it all depends on what you want to achieve. And for me, it's all about like giving a platform for the filmmakers and game developers, because being an indie horror, it's like they make incredible work with such little or no budget and compared to mainstream. And so like to give someone a platform to be like, hey, Renee, like you nominated me and I won. I used your laurel in like my Amazon materials. I got that and things like that. And now it's on
Oh.
Amazon. Like that's so cool when I get that email. And just things like that. It's like I'm giving them a voice because it was hard for me to find my own voice given how unique I am. And so now I'm helping give that to others.
We go back to partnerships because that's
Yeah,
something we haven't discussed too much. You brought that up a few times, that
yeah,
having these like strategic partnerships has been super helpful to you.
yeah,
How do you find those, and how do you like, you're like, okay, it'd be so slick to just talk with People Magazine, and I'm like, you used to work there.
yeah.
But additionally, like somebody who's new, how do they connect with the right person and make these, like, how do they find the person within a company to talk to? How do they get them to take them seriously? And then from there, form really good partnerships.
Yeah, so for me, because I have a background in audience growth and media distribution and everything else, like I have a great foundation. So I use that as my strength and I reach out. LinkedIn is a great source. There's IMDb, just cold call outreach. I go on websites. It's a lot of grunt work. Like I go on websites, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let me reach out. You may not hear from someone for like a month or 2 months, and then eventually you do. So I utilize my background because I know what the brand is looking for because I worked with a lot of those distribution partners similar to them already. So that's what I use. But someone that's just starting out, like honestly, I did the cold outreach and I kept on it, kept at it, and kept on planting seeds. It's a lot of work, but then you make these connections with the people that are very interested, and it only takes that one to really catapult you to the next level. And then if you don't get to that next level, you still keep on pushing. It's just it's like a lot of grunt work. Like you have to, like through this process, I learned to be my own best friend. Like my
Mm.
family, they aren't supportive of it. Like they made fun of me. They were just like, this is crazy or whatever. And it's like, I'm literally like, not like, but it's good in a way because it's like, it's pushing me to really be my own best friend. And I'm so happy doing it. And think about it when you're in the media and I'm in entertainment and things like that, work for companies, actors, actresses, what have you. It's like you are in it by yourself. Like you have this idea, not studio won't listen to you, the other studio won't listen to you. Okay, you do it yourself and it blows up. Like you have that inner strength to just keep on pushing forward and being your own best friend. And that's what I've been doing. So I talk to myself. Maybe that's how I came up with the witch demon. She's like my alter ego. She says the things I don't want to say. I can't say, you know?
Like a way to say something that's like, here's the controversial, harsh way to say it. Oh, the witch demon said it, wasn't me,
Yeah,
girl.
yeah,
It was,
yeah,
I don't know where that
yeah,
came from.
yeah,
Allows
yeah,
you to say the
yeah,
thing. How
yeah.
fun is that? Yeah. So was that hard for you when you decided I'm going to go full in with that? You'd had kind of prestigious jobs, and your family's like, "What is wrong with you, Renee? You can't just like decide you're going to be like horror is not your life. Go get a real job." Like,
Yeah.
was that
Well,
hard for you? And did it take a minute to kind of prove yourself?
Well, so to clarify, like I did work, I still work too, like a full-time job as
Hmm.
well, and still doing the horror festival as a full-time job too. So I did do both. I'm still doing both, even
Right.
consulting and everything else, because I need to earn a living until this blows up and gets big. But it was hard for me because, you look to people as your support system and also friends too, friends who I thought were my friends, and they'll be like, oh, that's good. But it's like, I thought you're my friend, but you wouldn't even come to the event that took me so hard to put together, or didn't really understand because they're dealing with their own stuff. So I've lost, like, I wouldn't say like I lost a lot of good friends, because in the end they weren't really my good friends, and the friends that surprised me were the really good friends that stayed and still my friends to this day. And that's what I focus on. You have to focus on the small wins, and eventually they become the big wins. So I would say you really have to, like, and I sacrifice a lot, like even working, and then like I would come home, I would do something, do some work for the festival I work 7 days a week. And when it's during the event, like, and I have full-time job, like, oh my God, I was so exhausted in November, December, because I was also interviewing them on my podcast too. So it was like back to back
Yeah.
Saturdays, then Sundays editing, and it was a lot. And but then I'm like, okay, I got through and it's over with. So I would just say be your own best friend. And yes, it's a lonely road. It is. It is. When you're in a position you want to do, it's a lonely road. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. So, and even your closest friends, they still won't understand, but only you will. Like I feel like I was put on this earth to entertain people with horror. I've always felt that way, and that's what I stick to.
So it's a lonely road, but as you've gone this path, have you found other people who do get it and go, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm a fellow horror nerd, like let's go all in." There's got to be like other people who get it.
Yeah, like I'm surprised. So working at when I was at Yahoo Finance, like they were like, "Oh, this is so cool." Like I got like I think like the head of content or something like gave me like a horror book of like of all the horror films like from like years, like Bela Lugosi, Vincent Price, all that stuff, like great
Mm.
horror film actors. And so a lot of people are like, this is so cool. Even like at brands that I would speak to, they're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. We never thought of that. So I'm very surprised. Like people who I think are so straight and narrow, they're like, I love horror too. This is great. So that has been very comforting. And it's always like the stranger who you would think wouldn't understand you does, because they also have that share quality that you have within yourself. So it's like every day is unexpected for me, and it keeps me like I have to stay positive all the time, because when you're positive you get great energy coming to you. When you're negative, like it doesn't work. So yeah.
How does it feel different in your body? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
To be the person who decided to go full in with your passion versus
Mm,
before, because
yeah.
there is something I keep telling everyone everywhere. I'm like, I know it's scary, but there is something that feels just different in your soul when you decide to do the
Yeah.
thing.
I feel, I can't describe it. I just feel so amazing. Like I feel at peace. I
Mm.
feel at peace. Like if I always think like if I even like when I'm looking for jobs and consulting work and things like that, like they're like, "Oh, this is so cool. Like this is a part of me." And when I wasn't doing it, I remember when this festival didn't come across my lap, like there was something missing. And I loved horror. I didn't know how to express it, and then this came and I feel so at peace. Like I'm exhausted every day. I'm like I don't know how many, I do like to take long walks because that really helps me decompress and I'm more creative. So I always have my voice notes and recording things and things like that. But I feel so at peace. It's scary. Like I'm putting myself out there even when I do like this or like videos on YouTube and I'm like, okay, if it's bad, I just do the next one. Like it's not going to be perfect, but and I'm like, no, I'm no spring chicken, but I have energy of a spring chicken because I'm so passionate about what I'm doing. So when I tell people my real age, they're like, what? You're what? I'm like, yeah, but I feel like I'm in my late 20s. You know what I mean? So whatever, so as I would say, I feel so at peace.
Oh, I love that. Are you ready for a lightning round?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Favorite horror movie?
Oh, I would, The People Under the Stairs by Wes Craven. Yeah.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. Upcoming horror movie that we should be paying attention to.
Oh, okay. Um, Evil Dead, three, no, is it three or Evil Dead Burn that's coming out in July? Yes, that one.
Something fun you do that we wouldn't expect.
I am watching, waiting for the reunion of Summer House on Bravo. That's my fun and watching the commentary on YouTube. So that's my like the whole scandal on Summer House. So yeah.
Oh, fun. What does hanging out with friends look like to you?
Oh, nice lunch and just chatting away on a cup of tea.
On a cup of tea. What's your favorite food? You're going to sit down and have lunch, you're going to eat. You can have anything in the world.
Oh, well, I'm a vegetarian. So, I would say falafel with hummus. That's my favorite.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love falafel. Favorite place you've been in the world?
Oh, Toronto. I love Toronto.
What do you love about it?
Oh, when I went there, I was like, I see myself living there. It's like New York, but cleaner, and everyone's super nice. I love it. I just felt myself at home there when I used to go there.
Mm, favorite room in your house?
Um, I would say the living room where my cat always hangs out at.
Mm, tell us your cat's name.
Oh, Betty Davis. She is a retired movie star. And for those who don't know, Betty Davis is like the famous actress back in the day. I've watched Betty Davis movies. And I will, a quote that stayed with me to this day with Betty Davis. And actually, she's kind of like my inspiration because she had such a challenging career, just making a way for herself. And she was like stronghold and she believed in herself. It's like attempt the impossible in order to improve your work was one of her many quotes. And so I take that with me because my festival is like the impossible for me and it's improving my work every day. So yeah.
Mm. So it brings us to the thing that I always end with on this is if you have one more piece of advice for everyone out there, what would it be?
Just do it. Just do it and believe in yourself. Just do it and believe you're gonna be scared. Like it's not gonna be easy, but you'll be at peace along the way. And I would just say that.
Mm. Renee, where can people find you? We talked about your TikTok, your
Yeah.
festival. Tell us all the places we can find you. And if you guys are listening, we will have all the links to this below to make it super easy for you.
Yeah, no, thank you. So hauntedhousefearfest.com. You can go on the website if you have a film submission or game submission. I'm on TikTok at HH FearFest, Instagram, all the handles, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, and then the Looks Creepy Cool podcast. It's like Looks Creepy Cool, an Instagram and TikTok handle. And then also it has a website too, lookscreepycool.com. But you can go to hauntedhousefearfest.com and find everything. So yeah.
Oh, for your festival, when's like the next thing that you're going to do that's cool to tell people about? What's coming up?
So what's coming up is October, which is like you get to see all the films and the games for the festival. I am doing an advanced screening for the films that got nominated so far in the Frozen Wing. So that's coming up in a couple of weeks. So you'll only have 48 hours to watch these films. And then after that, they'll be part of the October festival. And honestly, for the heat wave, it's a new tempo. I'm still figuring out some cool, creative, scary things. So just follow the handles and stay tuned.
Oh, fantastic. Renee, thank you so much for coming. Like, I am so excited for this to go out to everyone and hear more about horror stuff. I'm newer to the horror game, but like my one of my favorite things is going to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal
Yeah.
Orlando, and so I'm like Halloween Horror Nights girl. I'm more like I love a haunted house. We love scary movies. I was telling you before we started that my husband's totally into like the horror podcast. That's something he's going to be getting into like in the
Oh,
production realm really soon. And so I'm like, how
great.
exciting to be able to share more about this beautiful. I know I call it beautiful. I'm like, it is beautiful and exciting, but people see it as scary and hard. But like people who are into horror, I mean, they get it. They
Yeah,
get it.
they
And
get
I'm
it.
so glad that you are out there like shining and showing people, you can go and do something super freaking cool, have a unique experience. So thank you so much for being on the show today. And everyone, like, share, subscribe, share this with a friend. Like, get in and share the fun of horror and expressive storytelling in different ways. There's so
Yeah.
much to learn here about storytelling, about how to market yourself,
Yep.
about how to like get out there and just freaking hustle. Because everything we do, even if it's in our passion, I think a misnomer is if it's in your passion, it'll be easy and you won't have to do the hustle as much. And I'm like, I understand flow state a little bit, girl, but additionally, it takes the actual work.
Yeah.
And I love that you're showcasing both of those things of being
Yeah.
like in alignment with your thing, but additionally, it's going to take some work. So
Yeah.
thank you so much,
Oh, thank
everyone.
you.
Share the spark, take it higher. Hit subscribe, bring a friend. Let the wildness never end. Tap in, stand true. This is your